Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the El Crew Code channel. I'm Erica, and today I'm going to attempt for the second time to read an article that I wrote for Dot Walk in 2024 about our more mature yacht crew members, those who joined a little later in life. We're going to give it our best shot, but they've just started digging up the road outside to replace some water pipes. So hopefully I won't be interrupted again with a nice fierce of excavators and concrete breakers and all that good stuff. So right, let's crack on then. Let's not waste any time. In the realm of super yachting, the image of crew often evokes visions of young, adventurous souls embarking on a career at sea straight out of school or college. However, there's a growing contingent of individuals who are challenging this stereotype, those who are setting sail on a new career path later in life. These seasoned professionals bring a wealth of life experience, diverse skills, and a fresh perspective, easy for you to say, to the world of yachting. So how are they settling in? I spoke to a number of these, let's call them latecomers, and many were keen to share their stories in the hope that it might inspire others in similar situations to make that change. So what motivates these people to join the industry later in life? For some, it's a desire for change of pace or embracing their passion for the sea. Engineer Alexandra was teaching English, translating and running hospitality at film festivals for years before she had a realisation. And she said, the only thing I wanted to do was be around boats and enjoy a permanent summer. So she started skippering smaller yachts, learned all aspects of small boat maintenance, and then moved on to paid crossings before finding her first super yacht job at the age of 41. After 20 years, Captain Greg dropped his role as a management consultant who advised on corporate strategies, mergers and acquisitions, very serious, to pursue a new career on board yachts. He'd been sailing since his teens and finally took the plunge to make his hobby his career. Others may have reached a point in their careers where they seek more flexibility, autonomy, and the chance to escape the confines of a traditional office environment. Captain Fabian, 52, who runs an oyster with his wife, entered the industry in 2019. Prior, he worked as a freelance IT expert. He said, I didn't want to sit in front of a computer for the rest of my life. I love water sports and nature. I wanted to work independently and have a passion for sailing. Similarly, cook stew Deck Kelly was working in an office in Cornwall in the UK and made many friends who were working in nearby Pendennis Yard on board yachts. She said, they'd tell me they were leaving to cross the Atlantic to the Caribbean or head down to the Med for summer. I'd go back to my desk, look out at the sea, and I just knew I needed to make a change while I still could. She entered the industry at 34. Some parents have found they're not stuck at home anymore as the kids have flown the nest. Captain Fabian said, I waited until our son was old enough to be independent. Chef Lacey had a similar story. My daughter is living away from me now in university, so I can pursue my new goals with her full support. She can't wait to come and visit me when I'm somewhere hot and exotic. Chef Jan was running a bar, trattoria, in the yachting hub of Imperia, Italy with her husband. She said, when my daughters grew up and left home, my husband did as well. I had various industry friends who encouraged me to look for work on yachts, so I did my STCW and gave myself a year to try it out. And if it didn't work, I'd go back to the family business. I was on a 40-metre motor yacht 2 days later and I was 50 years old. So whatever their reasons, these latecomers to the yachting scene bring a unique perspective shaped by their backgrounds and their experiences. How many job ads state they're looking for crew who are adaptable or flexible, have a strong work ethic or have good problem-solving skills? Surely those guys have all of that sewn up with their life experience. That being said, transitioning into yachting later in life definitely comes with its own set of challenges, such as adapting to life at sea, losing your personal space and sharing a cabin, often with someone much, much younger, isn't easy. There's no escape when you live in your place of work, and that's not for everyone. Mary and Scott, a former engineer and stew couple who now own their own yacht, cited crew dramas, long hours, mad bosses and being tied life and soul to the boat as their main challenges to overcome when they were working on a 30-metre motor yacht, aged 53 and 55. Chef Doris told me she'd encountered issues with crew agents. Back then, there were so many agents who told me at 45 I was too old for the industry and simply ignored my applications. Well, guess what? 15 years later, I'm still doing it. Mary had the same issues. I had an agent tell me I was too old at 50 to chef. It was disappointing. Kelly found she was overlooked for interior positions when she was starting out, as she had too much life experience and was told she'd be bored or not challenged enough in a junior role. Plus, being older than the chief, they'd assumed I'd find it boring or difficult to take orders and direction from someone 10 years younger than me. At the other end of the scale, I had no yacht experience, so was overlooked for sole or chief stew jobs too. Engineer John, 62, told me his biggest challenge has been going back to school after so many years in the workforce. He said, "The engineering courses are no joke and you really need to study hard to pass. They're also very expensive, which adds pressure. I am a Y3 and I have no plans to go higher." So older crew members hopefully bring a level of maturity and professionalism, which is appreciated by both guests and fellow crew members. Their life experience enables them to handle challenging situations with grace and composure, hopefully, ensuring a smooth and enjoyable experience for everyone on board. Chef M said, "I do believe that it is quite an asset for a boat to have a few oldies on board. In my experience, I have definitely noticed that crew like to be able to talk to an older person that's not necessarily the captain or the chief stew." So diversity is a buzzword often bandied around this and every other industry. Side note, I'm going to do one on diversity soon that I wrote for On Board. And there's also a section in my book on that, just saying. Sorry, jumping back in. Right, for yacht owners and captains, having a diverse crew with a range of ages and backgrounds could enrich the onboard experience and contribute to a harmonious working environment. So does the blend of youthful energy and seasoned wisdom create a dynamic team? Captain James, 52, told me, "I like to have a good mix of crew on board. That means age as well as nationality and background. I feel this gives some balance. It's like having an all-male crew or just one nationality on board. That dominant feature often results in too much testosterone or tunnel vision." Captain Alid, 45, added, "I agree with this. We all joined yachting to travel the world and experience other cultures. So for me, that really starts on board in the crew mess. Also, I get bored being the only oldie on board. I start to feel like boat dad, and I'm not ready for that yet." Chef Richard, 50, said, "I like to hire older sous chefs as we're a team. We work together and we can share ideas from our years of experience working in different places or on different yachts. If we're on the same wavelength from the same generation, that makes a happier galley for me." Oh God, I'm just stumbling today, aren't I? So are times changing? Chef M hopes so. Why shouldn't a chef still be working in their 50s or 60s? Or a chief stew or captain? It's a profession. Nobody thinks twice about an office worker, a nurse or a doctor working in their 50s or more. Mate Rob said, "As long as we do our jobs well and get on well with the other crew, I don't think age should even come into it." Chef M agreed with this, saying, "I've always gotten on with crew no matter what age they are and have many friends who are much younger than me. One advantage for me is that you stay young working with younger crew too." So what advice do our latecomers have for those wannabe yachties who are in their late 30s, 40s or 50s? Kelly said, "Don't give up. I was one of the last people in my group to get a job when I came to Palma. Also, be humble enough to learn. You may have life skills, but yachting is a unique environment." Doris advised, "Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't go into yachting just for the money. Yachting takes a very special mindset to be successful. If your heart is in it for the right reasons, don't let anyone tell you it can't be done. Age is just a number." Brett, who started yachting at 42 before working his way up to first mate a few years later, recommends proving you can do just as well, if not better than the youngsters. He said, "I always worked hard as I was competing with 18-year-olds. I used to run circles around the younger crew." Engineer Sasha, 31, so not officially all that old, in my opinion, said, "Just go for it. Don't doubt yourself or your age. There's a boat out there for everyone. Do your courses, buy your ticket and get out there and dock walk. Network and email agents. I can recommend one, Erica Lay." Well, thanks Sasha, I do try. Greg said similar. "Go for it. Join crew forums, get your tickets and walk the docks. Go to social events and be willing to do the smaller jobs. have a great attitude and work hard. Fabian recommended, check it works for your family life at home first. Do your tickets, do deliveries, learn, be flexible, patient and friendly. Michael said, don't give up. Be proactive and don't be that old dog that won't learn new tricks. Life skills may be what you're employed for, but not if they get in the way of learning. Don't forget to smile. M said, be confident, respect other crew members' space, be patient and willing to learn from others, even if they're much younger than you, and interact with them. Join in actively and go out with them, even if you're the first one to go home. So there you have it from the horses' mouths. While the yachting industry has long been associated with youth and adventure, there is a growing recognition of the value that older crew members bring to the table. Their decision to embark on a career at sea later in life is testament to that enduring appeal of yachting. Thanks, Below Deck. And the limitless opportunities it offers us for personal and professional growth. So as the industry continues to evolve, these individuals will undoubtedly play an increasingly important role in shaping its future trajectory. I think I need to stop now, don't I? Because crikey, there was a few stumbles in that one. I do apologise. But if you are a more mature crew member, or maybe you're not, maybe you're a younger person who's had some more mature crew members on board, I'd love to hear your feedback. Drop me some comments, drop me your thoughts. Let me know how you got into the industry at a later age, if you did. Hurdles, things you've overcome. What do you bring to the team? Come on, just lay it on me. You know I love to hear from you all, so lay it on me. Have a fantastic day and look after each other out there.